Hey, what's happening, y'all? Coach Holloway back with you again. Welcome to part two of my two-part series on Super Bowl 59. For this video, we're going to be covering the Philadelphia Eagles' perspective and how they won. So they ran a more balanced offense, doing both run and pass, even if the run wasn't successful. But Jalen Hurts was making great decisions throughout the game, making great throws downfield on the outside, big plays, but also being able to dump off when he needed to, and doing smart as identifying coverage, zone, and man, and being able to put the ball to whoever needed to go to. So without further ado, I want y'all to go ahead and take a look and see my highlights of what Hurts, but the offense, but Hurts specifically did well to make this a winning effort for them. So these throws that I saw were pretty much based on confidence. The Chiefs like to run a lot of man and send blitzes and stuff, and so you have your man coverage, and you got to be able to test that. And so with the pre-snap read here, he saw that it was a cover one, and he decided to test it right over here on the top of the screen with AJ Brown. So he sees the coverage, and immediately he wants to go to Brown, and that was just a perfect ball. And they had this penalty right here, which I didn't agree with, but a good move at the line of scrimmage to get outside. Perfect ball outside toward the sideline, toward the white, and I mean, that's what you wanted to do with it. Good job by everybody handling their one-on-one blocks, by the way. But this is just a perfect spot for the ball to be away and outside from the defender. That's an excellent, accurate throw. Unfortunately, the penalty took it away. And now Jalen does another good job of getting a pre-snap read here. With he knows that there's man on the outside. It ends up being a cover one cloud coverage, but he knows he got that man with the outside, and so he decided to just again take a shot. This time with Jahan Dotson. First off, good work to get off the line, fight with his DB, swim over, and get free for this pass, for this reception right here. This type of playmaking is what was missing from the Kansas City receivers. Now, as for protection, this is actually a really good job by everybody, but especially Saquon Barkley, who I got in the yellow, picking up this blitz, taking on Chamari Connor over here on the right side. The blitz pickup is key for you being able to make plays on this man coverage, and it's like I said, a perfect throw. He didn't get a touchdown here, but the thing was, it was right where it needed to be. The spot on perfect. All right, this one here, another pre-snap read. It seemed like a lot of the big plays, Kansas City really came out in the same defense, where they had either all man or man on the outside, one to really test the receivers, and Jalen took the test and pass, as you can see. Nah, the Chiefs didn't have a bad defensive game overall. It's just that, those small things with like identifying the formation and the coverage, that can make a big difference. This was the touchdown that put the Eagles up 34 to nothing to basically end the game. First off, they actually have a really good disguise here. The defense does rather. It's a quarters coverage, but they make it look like a cover two. The look is good, but the execution afterwards is not, and you'll see as we run this over concept and the decision that Justin Reed makes here. And you can already see where their coverage is because you see the corners on the top and bottom of the screen. They're funneling the receivers inside, which means in zone they're passing them off to the middle. But it's at this point right here where you see Justin Reed take on Goddard, the tight end, leaving Devontae Smith wide open for the touchdown. Jalen Watson, number 35, he otherwise wouldn't have gave Devontae Smith that much space if the safety behind him, if Reed was where he was supposed to be. First off, this is an excellent play action here, and the Eagles set this up with the running that they were doing throughout the game. Even though they weren't successful, the fact that they did it was able to set them up for play action, something that the Chiefs could have thought to do too. This session is good because I think the thing about it is that the Chiefs' defense didn't play that bad, but I think that Hurts made great decisions that helped them win in tough situations. Like, take this play, for example. So Devontae Smith is going to be running a out route up here, top of the screen, with an option to go from a corner to an out, going against a cover six. So he makes the decision to cut it off because the safety is that far behind him to cut to the sideline, but he's not open just yet, but he works back to the QB and toe taps on the sideline, just perfect. And you see Jalen here in the pocket, he makes the decision too. You see first he looks at, I guess, the end route coming from AJ Brown, and then he scrambles, and like I said, he scrambles in one direction and makes a decision. And then here's Smith on the sideline here. So here's extending the play as intended. You got all goals going against quarters coverage. So the ball snap. Now, as you can see, nobody's open. So Jalen does a good job to step up in the pocket and scramble, get him some yards. So again, this is, like I said, one direction. Yeah, and of course, I'm gonna show you this from the pocket too. Watch him take the snap. All right, and so he steps up right here and steps up in the pocket into his running lane and is able to get something out of it. This here, another situation, same thing. We got this time it's a cover one with a another flood concept coming. Ball snap, and as you see right here, nobody's open. So he pulls it down and runs. Don't know if he went through all his reads, but the play is effective. And the thing was, they had a spy on his play who I didn't think did a good job. He was way all over on the left side of the defense, but you had a great outside move from Karlaftis here to force the play, but it just wasn't enough. He was able to read it, just the pocket awareness was there, and he's able to go upfield and get something. That's how you want to scramble. This one's entertaining to me because, as you can see, the Chiefs and the Eagles had the same kind of game plan as far as coverage, but Hurts did a better job of adjusting to it by using the checkdowns and other good decisions. And I got Jahan Dotson here in red to show you what I'm talking about with this check down, a chip, and then a release in the flats, and he just right there. Yeah, they have everything covered downfield. There's nothing open, but he finds his check down just to get to the next play, to move the chains for the next play. And the check downs and stuff was aspect that Mahomes wasn't using. And why? I don't know. And this one, you can call this coverage by the defense either quarters or you can just call it cover six. I call cover six because there's a man at the top of the screen. Ball to snap, drop back. Hurts sees nothing is open. Real simple, he dumps it off to Saquon right here, out here in the flats. That's how you beat a team that runs around quarters too high or a deep zone all day long. Not even going to show the coverage on this one. I just want you to see Hurts' reaction to the coverage. Again, he's going to dump out, but this time Saquon's going to take a smart move and go downfield as he sees his quarterback scrambling. This is a part of the scrambling drill that we teach receivers and running backs to an extent on what to do. But a good job by him finding an open space and running downfield, and for Hurts for seeing his guy and being smart with the football. This goes back to what I said earlier about his confidence and not letting the game go too fast for him, just seeing things and reacting to them in real time. And to be fair to the Kansas City Chiefs, their defense actually didn't play all that bad if you look at the total numbers at the end of the game. But they were put in some bad situations by Mahomes turning the ball over and them not being able to execute on offense. So they just had to stay on the field longer than what they needed to. So because of that, the result was what it was. I still believe at the end of the day, the Chiefs are a dynasty. I still think they're one of the greatest teams in NFL history. And if you think that today you expose something about them that you're wrong, the Eagles are the perfect team to be able to be complementary to that because of how they're constructed. And not every team is going to have that. So things will still be what they are. But congrats to the Eagles on this accomplishment for their second Super Bowl. Of course, now that the season is over, it's going to be a lack of stories and games and stuff to talk about. So I'm going to be going through and maybe I'll look at some college tape, get some prospects up here so y'all can see them. Maybe I'll look at some rookies and judge their performance for the season or something. But I'll have some content coming for you. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting me this whole time. I'm going to continue to keep it going. Coach Holloway's still in the game, man. Again, thanks for your support. Y'all be easy.